Hello everyone, it's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon, and I've got a really good video for you guys today. It's about printing digital collections. Do you need a wide format printer to print digital collections? No, the answer is no. You only need a wide format printer if you're going to print 12 by 12. Do you need a special software to print digital collections? The answer is no, you do not need any special software. What type of paper do you use to print your digital collections? I'm going to tell you what I use. I'm going to show you what I use. I'm going to link you down below to what I use. Now, let me show you how to print a digital paper collection. And there's Faith in the background saying hello. So here we are on the desktop, and I am in box.com. When you buy a paper collection from me, it comes to you in via a link. You can buy any paper collection. I have a bazillion of them. I don't, not a bazillion, but I have a lot. Now, by the way, which because of this video, they are all 50% off. So if you want to do something for the first time, now is a chance to buy something and try the printing. So I'm going to select Fairies and Fireflies. All right, so you go to your folder. You pick whichever digital collection you want. Of course, this doesn't apply to just Paper Phenomenon. This applies to whatever digital paper collection you have in the folder. So you can select the folder like so and download the entire folder. This is the download button. Or if you want to print one, let's say, I don't know, you need an extra sheet of paper. You don't want to download it because it takes up too much space on your computer. You want to leave it in box. So pick your paper, download it, right? So I'm going to pick this one. Doesn't really matter. This is just for downloading purposes. You hit download, right? And it'll pop up like this, okay? Depending on your computer, whatever software is on your computer, this is going to open up in whatever program you use for pictures. All right. And here's the file name at top. At the top of the screen, you're also going to have various buttons for you to choose from to customize this. You don't want to edit the image. This is what you want. You don't want to do anything to this except print. And here is the print icon right here. You're going to hit print. You're going to pick your printer. All right, so I'm going to pick my printer. Notice that it shows up 8.5 by 11. Why, my friends? It shows up 8.5 by 11 because that's the type of printer you have. All right, notice that this is actually not a very good example because it gives you a really good image. The way that, it cuts off the sides, right? The way it cuts off the sides, this looks great. However, we don't want it to cut off the sides. We don't want it 8.5 by 11, right? We want the full image. So what you do is you scroll down and you look for fit, okay? This is universal pretty much to every print screen. And it normally defaults to fill page. You don't want to fill the page. You're going to hit shrink to fit. And there it is, my friends. It automatically resizes the image for you at an 8 by 8. It resizes the image large enough that it will fit on the selected piece of paper, and in this case is 8.5 by 11, to scale. So the largest size that you can get to scale on an 8.5 by 11 is 8 by 8 because this is a square image. And the largest is 8 by 8 here in this case because it always gives you margins, etc., etc. So that's how you print an 8 by 8 size for a digital collection. You hit print. All you have to do is load 8.5 by 11 paper in your printer. Sorry, let me cancel that. 8.5 by 11 paper in your printer, and you print. Okay. It comes out looking like this. Okay, so this is the Fairies and Fireflies collection, and it comes out like this. And what do? You trim. You take your trimmer. I use a Rotary trimmer, and I cut 4 or 5 sheets at a time. and you just trim it, and it looks fantastic. I am going to go ahead and just quickly demo a trim job here. This is the Tim Holtz trimmer, which works beautifully as well for this type of trimming, you know, for multiple sheets. So I just line it up, right, with where I think I want it to cut. And I'm pretty familiar with this trimmer, so I know exactly where to line my pieces up so that it can cut properly. Okay, and this one is kind of hard because the white at the bottom. So let me go here. I know exactly. Here, it gives me a clear defining cut line here. So you trim it up. Like so. And you get your 8x8 papers, and you can make projects that you can use 8x8 papers. Whoopsie, I didn't bring this down. 9 times out of 10, we trim our papers down, right? Because we don't use a full 12x12 sheet of paper. And look at this, how fantastic. At 8x8. The images are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so you trim. It also prints your embellishments. All right, so this is what your embellishments look. Oh, sorry. My embellishments are already cut. They're already cut. All right, so you can print your embellishments out at the 8x8, and they print out such a great size. My paper collections are, my embellishments are size really large. Because for those who print 8x8, I want them to be very usable. If I start with a 2-inch embellishment, when you print 8x8, and I don't say resize because you don't have to resize anything. When you print at 8x8, you get a usable embellishment. Okay, absolutely usable embellishment, not a teeny tiny thing. So you can use a digital collection even if you do not have a wide format printer. All right, really, you can, because look, my friends, this is 8x8. Okay, and it's just beautiful. It's super easy. Now, again, you don't need a special software. You do not need a wide format printer. What paper do I use? This one says 12x12 because it comes 12x12. But I buy the 8.5 by 11, and I buy the 12x12. I just don't have a pack of 8.5 by 11, a sheet with me. I buy this on Amazon. This is a 53-pound paper. Okay, it says double-sided because you can print both front and back. This is for inkjet printers, and it's a matte. If you have a laser printer, then you want to get paper that's compatible for a laser printer. Very, very important. There's a link in the description box below for this paper. There will be links in the description box below for printers, color printers that lots of crafters commonly use printers that are very affordable, not like my wide format printer that costs a lot, several $100s. Crafters like you and me, my friends, that are in my community page that share their printers, those links will be down below. Now, I do have to always say that those links that are down below are affiliate links, and I do earn commission if you purchase via my links. And thank you very much if you do. So, this is the paper, my favorite one now. I have used Epson paper, which I still love, still love. The reason why I've kind of switched over, because the Epson paper that I love comes only 13 by 19, and I always had to cut down either to 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12, depending on the print. Do I love that paper? Absolutely. Why do I use 53-pound paper and, not a heavier weight? The reason why is because when I make projects, my base is 80-pound cardstock. So I don't want to print my pattern paper on an 80-pound paper because it's just too thick. Layering 80-pound on 80-pound is too thick. 60-pound, can you use a 60-pound? Absolutely. Red River, it will also be linked down below, has an excellent 60-pound paper. And I believe they have a 54 or 53-pound paper as well at Red River. If they are available, those will be linked in the description box below. So I like to use a lighter weight paper because it gives you a nicer page, a feeling of the page. They're not so stiff, right? They're nice and flexible, but still substantial that the project doesn't feel cheap. Okay. So this is printed. Everything that you see here is printed on this paper right here. Okay. Now, can you use any other brand? Absolutely. Can you use heavier paper? Absolutely. 53-pound is my preference. That is it. And again, I explain why that's my preference, because the base, my pages are on 80-pound cardstock. What 80-pound cardstock do I use? The link is in the description box below. It is my brand of cardstock. It is called Maker Basics Cardstock. Link in the description box below, guys. And remember, if you've never tried digital, all of my collections are on sale right now. Try one. Try to print it on a regular printer paper. Do what I show you. Let me show you again, guys. All right? So simple. You pick the paper. Let me go back to the desktop very quickly. You pick the paper. Let's grab another one right here. One that would cut off. Let me not grab an easy one. So you select it. I'm going to download. And you'll see it'll pop up in the download screen. There it is. I'm going to maximize my screen. This is, again, another not so good one. because So you pick print, hit print. This Canon Pro 300 that you see here, this is my wide format printer. This one I can print at 12 by 12 if I wanted to. But this printer over here is my 8.5 by 11. I do not recommend this printer, okay? I do not. This is a LaserJet printer. This is what I use to print labels and all this other stuff. My paper that Jane prints for me, she prints on a different printer. She prints on the Canon 300 at 8 by 8, okay? So again, those recommendations for printers, for color printers that are not wide format, that will print 8.5 by 11, will be in the description box below. You may have one already. All right. So here, again, the default is 8.5 by 11. We don't want that, right? We want to print a square image. You want to print 8 by 8. So you go to the fit, scroll all the way down. Make sure you scroll, because sometimes if you don't scroll, you don't see it, right? You don't see it. So scroll down until you see fit. And then hit or select shrink to page, shrink to fit. And look what happens. You get that entire image on an 8.5 by 11 at 8 by 8. You hit print. In my case, I'm going to hit cancel because I'm not printing. And we're going to go back to the desktop, or to my workspace, excuse me. And it comes out like this. This is not the one we picked, but it's got to be here somewhere, right? It comes out looking, oh my gosh, these papers are gorgeous. Look at that, how beautiful. This is it right here. It comes out looking like this, and then you cut it. You trim around it, and you get papers that look like this, 8.5, 8 by 8. And they're just so, this size is so much fun to work with. The series that I've been doing, moving parts, is 8 by 8. This is what I do. I print it and I make these projects with the embellishments at 8 by 8. All right. I also want to cover how I make paper clips. I mention this term all the time. What is a paper clip? It's 2 images, 2 embellishments, front and back. All right. But to get a perfect front and back, you need to print a mirror image. How do you do that? Easy peasy. You don't need a special software for that. I'm going to pick, let's go to the desktop, and let's pick an embellishment sheet right here. Something that I can flip that you can see very easily. And I'm thinking, let's see this one. Let me download this one right here. So I'm going to pick, let's try embellishment sheet 1. So let me download that. Oh yeah, this one is perfect. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to maximize my screen. So to print mirror image, I have to look for it. Okay, so I believe it is in, so this is rotate. Let's go through all the buttons. We don't want to rotate, right? That's not what we're looking for. Let's click on edit image. I think that's where it is. All right, and I don't want to crop. I don't want to do adjustments, filter, markup. No, I think it's down here. Here we go. This right here says rotate image 90 degrees counterclockwise. Here it says rotate image 90 degrees clockwise. I don't want to do that. This is to click or select enter to see more aspect ratio options. No, thank you. I think this is what I want. Flip image horizontally. This is what I want. I want to flip the image. That will give me a mirror image. This one says flip vertically. Let me show you what happens. See, the bird is at the bottom. It's at the top, or I should say the owl. Here, if we flip horizontally, it'll give you a mirror image. See, the owl is on the right. The owl is now on the left. The only downside to flipping an image is that it also flips your letters, which kind of sucks, but I don't use those. I only use the images like icons and things like that. So this will give you a mirror image so that you can make paper clip. All right? That's all you have to do. No special software needed. Is right in the editing, photo editing software that's on your computer when you open a JPEG. Okay? When you open a JPEG, you just have to look for it because everybody runs on different software, different things, right? Just look for flip image. All right? So you're going to flip horizontally and you're going to print one like this with the little birdie on the right, and you're going to print a second one like this with the little birdie on the left. And that's how you know that you flip the image and that you have both of them, okay? Now, when you print, of course, it's going to print like this. You got to chop it up. You don't have to cut it out, right? Just cut them out, general. And you're going to get an image that you can make what I call paper clip, okay? And why do I call it paper clip? Because when I glue it together, I just glue it halfway depending, and I can it functions like a paper clip, right, on the side of a page. So let me give you an example. So here, see, I flipped the image, I printed it twice to make paper clip, and I glue it just part way, depending on the application, depending where I'm going to put it is how I glue it. And and it functions like a paper clip, right? I just kind of put it in there. You can glue it on if you want to, but you don't have to, right? It's up to you. My airplane is also paper clip because I printed the image twice, one in the regular, the way the file comes, and the second one, I flipped it, okay? That is all I do. Again, no special software, nothing special. 8x8. I didn't need a wide format printer. I just printed on a regular color printer on a heavier weight paper because I don't recommend you using copy paper. Copy paper is 20 pounds. It's super thin. The color is not going to look good. The thicker the paper, the more fibers in it, the more fibers in the paper. So the more pulp the ink has to saturate into, right? So you get a richer print on thicker paper, okay? You will always notice that. You can print on a 20, same printer, you print on 20 pound, 40 pound, 53 pound, and you're going to see which one is the best one, the thicker paper, because it's pulpier, it's got more to saturate the color into, right? It absorbs the color better. So again, you've got your paper now. You have instruction on how to print 8.5 by 11. You have instruction on how to make paper clip. And you're ready to rock and roll. You just need a digital collection. Doesn't have to be Paper Phenomenon. It can be any digital collection. All right. If you want to make any of these little projects that I shared with you, they'll be linked in the description box below. Those will also be 50% off. If you shop with any of my links, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting my channel and Paper Phenomenon. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions regarding printing, anything, printers, I will answer them best way that I can. I don't have experience with every printer. I can only give you my experiences with the printers that I use. The recommended printers in the description box are printers that our fellow crafters use in the Paper Phenomenon community page on Facebook. There's a link in the description box below as well. Feel free to answer questions. Everybody's super duper helpful there. All right. And yeah, that's it, guys. Again, I can't stress it enough. To print a digital collections, you do not need a wide format printer. You can print at 8 by 8 on a regular color printer. Paper, however, is key. That 53-pound paper that I shared with you, I feel like that's the sweet spot, my friends. And I say that for my projects, right? I'm not the authority on crafting, but I am the authority on my projects. And I feel like that's a sweet spot. It's just so perfect with the layering on the 80-pound cardstock and the 53-pound paper. It makes for a perfect page, a perfect album, and I truly, truly love it. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. And until next time, my friends, this is Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. Bye bye.